Washington is on the verge of a seismic shift.
Incumbent Senator Jackie Rosen's win in Nevada is a sigh of relief for Democrats, but Republicans will have the majority in the upper chamber in January. Ballots are still being counted in the battle for the House right now. The GOP is 3 seats away from holding their House majority. Several races have not been called. In a New York Times podcast released today, former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi spoke about the Democrats' losses. She said President Biden should have dropped out of the race sooner. Pelosi also said culture wars powered the Republican victory.
Well, there are cultural issues involved in elections as well. Guns, God, and gays. That's the way they say it.
This map shows the voting shift from 2020. Arrows to the right show a shift towards Republicans, and arrows to the left show a change towards Democrats. The bigger the arrow, the bigger the change. Also, history made in the gubernatorial races. 13 women, the most ever, will lead their states after Kelly Ayotte's victory in New Hampshire, up from 12 last year. Wall Street also cheering Trump's victory. All 3 indexes ending the week at historic highs.
We're going to be reducing taxes.
Investors welcoming Trump's policies that include lower taxes and less regulation. While he still can, President Biden is focusing on his priorities, including judicial appointments.
And President-elect Trump is also looking ahead today, announcing leaders for his inauguration committee. Jerika?
Willie James Inman, thank you. Today in Pakistan, a suicide bombing at a train station left dozens of people dead or wounded. This surveillance video captured the moment of the blast on the platform. It happened in the city of Quetta. A separatist group claimed responsibility for the attack. Tonight, there's new fallout from violent attacks on Israeli soccer fans in Amsterdam. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer is in Tel Aviv.
All demonstrations have been banned in Amsterdam after the attacks on Israeli soccer fans there on Thursday night. Israelis who'd gone to Holland to see their team play returned home shaken.
It was very frightening. I saw people get beaten. They drove on people. They stabbed people. It was like 1940s.
Some rowdy gatherings before the match looked to be simply high spirits. But in some places, the ugly politics of the war in Gaza surfaced. Here, fans chant, "Let the Israeli army win. Bleep the Arabs." After the game, things got violent. Amsterdam's mayor described the attackers as anti-Semitic hit-and-run squads. It's been more than a year now that social media around the world has been flooded with pictures of Israeli military operations in Gaza and the horrifying Palestinian casualties. Noam Segev advises private companies in Israel on their media strategy.
So Israelis are worrying that the country's reputation is so bad abroad now that there are some places it's too dangerous for them to go to?
There is a discussion about the countries which you probably would like to avoid because the entire anti-Israeli movement has risen during the last few months.
And it may be getting worse. After the violence in Amsterdam, thousands of police will be deployed this coming Thursday when Israel's national team plays France in Paris. As for the prospect of a ceasefire in Gaza, well, it had looked remote. It now looks virtually dead. Jerika, the Qataris had been trying to mediate, but they say they've given up and they have closed Hamas's office there until both Hamas and the Israelis show a sincere willingness to deal. And there is no sign at all of that.
Elizabeth Palmer, thank you. Tonight, Britain's Queen Camilla is missing from remembrance events honoring the country's war dead. Buckingham Palace says she's recovering from a chest infection. But Princess Catherine has returned to royal duties attending tonight's event at London's Royal Albert Hall. Kate, as you may recall, completed chemotherapy in September. Straight ahead on the CBS Weekend News, fake weight loss drugs are flooding the market and endangering public health.